Okay, we are live. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the July 15th Community and Senior Center Design Team meeting, starting at 3:30. And I think we're primarily here to look at some additional colors and furniture and things of that nature. So I'll let Rocco and his colleagues kind of take things over at this stage.
Well, like I was telling a couple people earlier, it's good to see you guys. Again, it's been a while. This is basically an update. We've taken some of the comments that we had from the last meeting and updated the renderings to represent the colors that people thought would be a little more pleasing to the vast majority, or at least what was voted on. And I'm going to let Angela kind of take over the presentation. I'm going to show the presentation and she can kind of talk through it. Angela, you're there, right?
Yes. Yep.
And
can you hear me?
Yep. And you can see the screen and stuff?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm not on video, but I can see you guys.
Okay. That's good. So essentially what this meeting is just to show you where we're at. We're going to show the colors. We're going to show the furniture. And then if we can, I guess I can work with John, figure out like how we can make this accessible to everyone who has a say in this. And then the idea is that if anybody has some real opposition to anything, they can speak up if we can make some change at this point. We want to be finalized for furniture and color by October. So we have, some time to kind of deliberate a little bit, but then you guys can decide what you want to deliberate and when you want to just say it's done. So with that, I guess I can start the slideshow and we'll get started. The cover. Let's see how I'm going to do this here. There we go. Okay, Angela, you're on.
Thank you. So this is the updated finish board that we put together. Pretty similar to the one that you guys last saw, but I wanted to make it lighter and brighter. Some of the comments were that things were too dark. There was a concern that there wouldn't be enough light and it'd feel too cave-like. So I wanted to make it more brighter. So you could see in the center, I updated the tile. So it's the same tile as before, just a different colorway. So that's a tile that will be throughout the lobby and down the corridors as well. Some of the colors I just updated, so it's more blues and purples, got rid of those green tones that you guys didn't like before. Wanted to stick with more of the blues, so it's more nautical themed. Some of that wood tone to bring back to the history of Rocky Hill. And then down below, you could see that I switched out that brown tile for another blue one that would wrap around the coffee bar and then the human services reception desk as well. And then a lot of the other stuff stayed the same, just lightening it up a little bit here and there. If you go to the next slide. These are some of the major finishes that we upgraded. Like I said before, you could see that porcelain tile floor. It's just a lighter, more like pecan color. That'll make a huge difference because that's the floor throughout the entire lobby and down the corridors. And then the two carpet tiles that you see above will be in the library and games lounge and then in the offices as well. And you could kind of tell from the images, but they're more of like a grayish beige color. And then the office carpet has some blue pops in it. Next slide. So here's a rendering view of the space. So this is the main lobby when you come in. We have some of the furniture too that we have furniture spec pages for. So now you could see it in the space and how it relates to the rest of the finishes. You'll see this insert in the floor. That's that plaid-like tile that we have to kind of zone that lounge space. And it's the porcelain tile that's flush with the rest of the tile in the space. And then over to the left, you'll see the library. We have a wainscot color as a typical gray throughout the space. And then above is more that purpley tone. And then you'll see like the barn doors, we want to do a darker wood, which is carried throughout to the coffee bar space as well, and that wood ceiling accent, and then the cabinetry for the coffee bar. So kind of bringing that blue, purple, and then dark wood tone throughout the space, but also keeping it light with the gray walls and the pecan colored floors. And then you'll see in the back, the games lounge, we have a blue wall with the gray wainscot, and the black trim is kind of repeated throughout on that storefront, and then the trim also on the furniture pieces. And the next slide. Here's another view of the same space. So this is looking at the coffee bar, and then this is coming down the corridor next to the games lounge. You can see the front reception desk there for human services as well. It's got the same tile as the front of the coffee bar. It's that nice blue iridescent tile, which really makes a wow factor and kind of guides people to that main reception. And then you'll see the soffits above are a curved shape, and it has that blue color. And below we have the wood tones inset in that coffee bar to kind of liven it up and make it more of a fun feature space. And that back wall, you'll see the brick that we were thinking of doing that memorial where you have the inset stones to kind of bring together that piece that you guys currently have into the new building. And then the next slide. Here's a look at the furniture for those spaces. I want to pull the image. So the image isn't exactly how it's going to be in the space. The image of the furniture piece is just the furniture itself. Next to it is the finishes that will be applied. So for like the coffee bar, that tan color is the seat fabric, and then the black is the wood frame. And then same thing for the library armchairs. There would be purple with the black frame, and same thing below with the lobby sofa and armchairs, and that's in that front area on that plaid tile. Next. Here we have a view of the multi-purpose space. So this is that back corner over by the cafe. So you have that serving window. Again, we did a gray wainscot with a lighter blue above, bring in some pops of color with the lampshades as well. Black trim around the windows, and then the flooring is that nice neutral grayish beige color with some blue striations in it. And furniture we kept pretty neutral because I know you guys might be using existing as well. So kept it nice and neutral with some whites and some grays. And then the next slide. You'll see here some of the furniture selections. So those chairs would look like this with a mixture of the light gray and the dark gray, like a 50-50 mix throughout the space because it is a larger space. So we want to have some fun and not do all the same chair, but mix it up a little bit. And then the multi-purpose tables are the round tables that you see shown here with a whitish gray top and then black base. We try to use a lot of the same finishes throughout the space. So black bases are typical with then lighter seats. And then the final one, you'll see the fitness space. So here we have light gray walls and then the two accent colors for that graphic wall print. And that same color, that like emerald green, is copied into the fitness room, which you could see through the storefront. So we want to be lively and youthful, and this is where a lot of people are going to be coming to work out. So you want it to be fun and more of like a wow space. You could see the ceiling detail as well with those lights coming through. The view isn't great to be able to see the whole volume of the space. It's hard to catch that, but it is a nice size space that brings in tons of daylight. And the ceiling grid here, it looks kind of dark. We're thinking of doing more of a lighter gray, so we would fix that. Still tweaking those colors a little bit. This is just a general idea of what it would look like. I believe that's it, because there's no furniture in the fitness room. So that's all of the finishes, just kind of updating it so it's lighter and brighter, sticking with like a gray, brown, and blue and somewhat purple theme. Does anybody have any questions?
About comments.
Yep, any comments at all?
Good,
Yeah,
Charlie.
I'm a non-voter here, but here are two comments. The plaid tile insert, as presently shown on the sketch, shows furniture there. It looks nice, but in the long term, once the space is built and uses may not be exactly as planned or may change in the future, I don't know what we really gain from it. It just seems to me that it looks odd there. I thought it was a carpet. So that's my comment on that.
Yep. It's supposed to replace the idea of using an area carpet, so there's no tripping hazard. It's in a public space, so we don't want anyone tripping over the edge of an actual carpet. So this is
Yeah.
inset and flush with the tile.
So the gentleman there reading the paper on the sofa or whatever you call it, why is that location different than the one to the left where the gentleman's walking towards it? I just seem it just kind of breaks it up in a way in which I personally don't think is attractive. So that's my 2 cents, and I'm just giving it, okay? Maybe you'll think about it. And as to the black trim, I find that sort of atypical. My eye goes to it to say, well, why would they use black on the trim? And my other comment about black shows the dust really bad. So Phil Sear will have to do it every hour or something. So I know trend-wise, there seems to be a lot of black trim on things, but inside a senior community center, it just seems to me odd.
And it wouldn't be like thick black trim either. It's just supposed to be more of like a modern take on it and keep it nice and sleek.
Okay.
And dust shouldn't be too much of a concern in those spaces.
Anybody else
have
with
any other
any
comments?
questions or comments, thoughts?
I just have one question on the chairs in the multipurpose room. How comfortable are those? Because you're going to have seniors sitting in there perhaps long periods of time. I'm just curious.
Yeah, so the chairs that we spec'd are meant to be stackable. So because the space is being used in a lot of different purposes, we want something that you could stack and easily put aside, put in storage, move them around. We can throw in a couple with arms that might be easier for people to get in and out of and kind of disperse those throughout the space. But it does have the padded seat on it for comfort. And it's not like a super stiff chair where you're going to be uncomfortable. It does hold up.
Yeah, it might be good to have a few with arms because there are some people that are less mobile than others, and that might make it a little easier for some of those people.
Okay, I could definitely put that in.
Hi, everybody. This is Rebecca from QA&M. I just wanted to chime in as well about the furniture question. We could potentially get a sample of that chair if we wanted to have the seniors try it out before we did place that order for that particular chair, if that's something that would be helpful.
I think it would be.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, this is Charlie again. Hello.
Yep, go ahead, Jack.
I just had double knee surgery. I'm in the age group where a lot of seniors have knee surgery, hip surgery. And one of the great difficulties is getting up from a chair like that without the ability to push off on the arms.
Okay. So like I said, when we do the 50-50 mix of the light gray and the dark gray, maybe like all of the light gray ones have arms and then all the dark gray don't have arms. That way it's an even mix of both.
I'm fine with that.
Anybody else with question? I just had one if nobody else does. Can you bring up the exercise room again for a second? Thanks. Okay. So what is the ceiling? Is that sort of blue or what is that exactly? That patterned area up there?
That's the open ceiling grid. So it's kind of like what you see in a regular ACT tile grid, those metal pieces, but it's more compact. So it's just an open grid basically that we would extrude the pendant lights through. So we're trying to figure out what color might work best with that to help lighten the space because it is such a big volume. So if we did like a light or medium gray, but it's supposed to be able to be see-through so you could see through to that exposed structure above it.
Right. Okay. So it's not necessarily going to be that blue that's there.
No.
Okay. 'Cause I was like, I'm not sure if that worked with the rest of the room. So okay.
Yeah, no, it's not rendering correctly.
Okay.
And doesn't Photoshop easily either.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any points to discuss?
That was easy.
Is that the list of things to present to us today?
That's essentially it, to show you where we're at, the speed, and then see if there's any major objections. So I'm gonna issue this application as a PDF. And then, as Rebecca said, we can probably get you some furniture samples of anything that you may want to see, hopefully fairly quickly. And then I'll just have to coordinate with John as to how we do this. And who has access or who, how you get them access to things that they really want to see and touch.
Right.
In the climate that we're in right now.
Yeah. So, John Mayer, how do you want to do this? We probably shouldn't do any kind of vote. Should we, based on the timing when we can get stuff into the town hall building and we can see it, figure out a date, a due by date where we make a decision on that?
Well, if they can get whatever samples they can and bring them down, then maybe just put them in the town hall and just send out an invite saying these are available for a couple days to take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, do you want to put that color chart down up again? And
Yeah, we could bring the finished board with
agreeable
it.
to that, because there was some changes you said, and it seems like we went from trying to brighten the place up. Am I correct?
Yep.
Kind of darker colors.
Yeah, and I updated that board. So when we drop off the furniture samples, I'll drop off the finished board with it so you guys could compare.
Yeah, and I would say we need like to let people come through and take a look and so on. And Charlie can practice getting in and out of the chairs with the handles.
Yeah, you got a lot of walker people, and the walker people need the handles.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm almost as old as you, Charlie, so I understand.
No comments.
Okay.
But, I think if you can give us like a 2 or 3 days, put it on display, 8:30 to, I don't know what time Phil wants to lock up. People can come by, say till 6 o'clock. We can leave it down by the dance studio area. There's a lot of room there. And,
Okay.
As I said, I thought, and then you'd have that first picture that you had with the color and the tiles. You can see what they look like in
Yep.
the natural light and stuff like that. And then meet again the following week or something similar to this.
Yeah.
I don't know, did anybody have any concerns about the colors? I guess my question, follow up on Charlie's initial question about the carpeting, where the guy that was reading the newspaper. Is it the general theme that all the furniture is going to be on like some sort of carpet, and that wooden looking flooring that's made basically for walking on?
That wood look is actually a porcelain tile. So the furniture that sits on that plaid tile, and then the furniture that's around the coffee table or the coffee bar, that's all on porcelain tile. All the other furniture would be on carpet. So games lounge and library, all that furniture is on carpet.
So the
Yeah, I think, John,
are, they're going to be stools, right? It's not, your display looked like there was chairs, and it sort of looked like someone could be sitting and they could be eye level to the bar. But then when you showed your example,
It's more of a stool, yeah.
with
Yeah.
trolley arms on it too, right?
Yeah, we could look at arm options for that.
Arms to keep them from falling off.
Yep, for the same concern that we mentioned before too, getting in and out of.
I understand
These colors will brighten up the place quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a couple different tones of blue, which will be nice. They'll add some variety.
Angela, Rocco, I might suggest it might be helpful in the boards or prints that go to be displayed at town hall, that maybe you'd include a furniture floor plan.
Yep,
with
I was thinking
a
of doing that.
So you could see, point out this is this chair, this is this chair, this is this chair. Just so that you could have a reference of where these things are located and what they're going to look like.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing PDF so that we have the floor plan and then the furniture with those finishes explicitly called out. So this is the seat fabric, this is the wood leg finish, just so it's easy to pair everything up.
Great.
Okay. So everybody on the committee good with that kind of plan of attack here?
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Okay.
So, John, Mayor, you'll give us a heads up when it's available, and then we'll
Yeah,
figure
well,
out ways to.
Team QAM gives me the dates that the chairs will be available. We'll set up, I'll send out something saying they're in from Monday to Tuesday or something like that. We'll plan on another Zoom meeting a couple days after that. So.
Okay.
Just,
We'll
just
get to order a
as a
sample.
heads up, I'm sure Angela and Rocco will have to, the boards would be able to go up on site much quicker. But the stools or chairs that would be samples might have to follow. And so they'll probably have to check with the manufacturers or distributors to figure out what that timing would be. So we'll try and align them. Hopefully they can show up sooner than later, but they can let the team know.
Yep.
John Mayer. There's still an application pending sign on Old Main Street in front of the construction. Is there a purpose for that?
Well, Charlie, congratulations. You won a prize for noticing it. I don't know if there's a purpose for it, just that it's still out there, that no one brought it in.
Okay.
How are we standing on timelines and stuff of that nature with the site started already?
As far as the schedule of the project,
Yes.
Matt can probably answer that. I mean, we're on target.
Yeah, PAC is doing really well. Everybody's moving along at a very good pace, and construction's keeping on schedule. So, all good news there.
A lot of cement traffic.
Yeah, they're currently pouring foundation walls around the addition. So lots of concrete pouring out there. Earthwork. But you should start to see steel go up probably in the next, I don't know, month and a half.
Cool.
Yep. Do you want to talk about the beam, Matt?
Oh, yeah, sure. I guess preview of coming attraction, sort of thing. We're working with PAC and their steel fabricator to, as well as with Rocco and the structural engineer, to identify a steel beam that would make sense to be brought on site earlier than the rest of the steel. And we would identify maybe a week-long time period and a location just inside the construction fence It would be, of course, fenced off as well, just for safety concerns. But it would be out there for about a week, and we would invite members of the committee, both the building committee and the design committee, and other project team members to come out and sign the beam as kind of a nice ceremony. And then once all the rest of the steel is up, or at least we get to the point at which that steel beam is ready to be hoisted, we would let everybody know when that would happen. And I don't know if it's something that we could make a video of, or people could show up who would like to and kind of stand outside and just watch that steel beam go up. Usually it has the topping off ceremony has a American flag, and that's the steel beam that has everybody's signatures on it, and you can kind of watch it go up and into place. So we don't quite have an exact time frame for that yet, but I would say within the next couple of weeks, we'll have a much better sense as to when that would happen.
Great.
Good.
Okay. Anybody else have any other topics to bring up? Hearing none, I guess motion to adjourn.
Second that.
All in favor? All right, we'll talk to everybody hopefully in a couple weeks.
Thanks, everyone. Hey, Craig, I got something for you if you want to hang on for a minute.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was told by PAC that we'll have the equipment submittal coming in